Am I the arsehole? For leaving Thanksgiving dinner early after my brother's toast to me? Today was family Thanksgiving dinner. My brother Will is 32M and I am 27M. I am a recovering addict and have been sober a year from opioids. I've done stints in jail and rehab. It was at my parents' place and a few aunts were invited, some cousins and grandparents. Everyone had a few drinks besides me, and right before we are about to go eat, Will stands up and clangs his glass to give a toast. He's a little tipsy and starts talking about what he is thankful for, being together, food, yada yada. Eventually he goes on to say that he's so thankful that I'm still alive and sober at this Thanksgiving despite everything that's happened. The room got kind of quiet and there was a toast and we ate. I was beyond embarrassed. The last place I want that brought up is at a family gathering, and Will knows this. Usually after we eat everyone sticks around for another drink or something, but I bounced as soon as food was done. Will texted me asking me where I went and I told him I was pissed and he embarrassed me. He told me I was being a dick and he just wanted to celebrate me. I haven't responded. Part of me thinks I overreacted, but the other part knows how I felt in the moment, embarrassed. Am I the arsehole? Have you considered the possibility that he was being sincere? I've been an addict and put my family through hell for years, and now one of them expressed that they are thankful that I'm finally healthy and sober in a way that slightly embarrassed me by having to acknowledge my own actions, so I bailed. You're the arsehole, dude. Holy shit. Nah. It's a bit distasteful to celebrate your sobriety with an alcohol toast, and obviously a bit of a downer at a family gathering. However, seems like it came from a sincere place. Be grateful they're still in your life and talk it out with your therapist sponsor, maybe? This internet stranger is proud of you. A year is such an accomplishment. Congratulations. Sorry I can't offer more than that. I have 6.5 years free and never ever be ashamed of who you are. Our stories save others that need help. We can be the light that finally saves someone else. For Americans, Canadian Thanksgiving. For the post. I can conceive of it being said in a well-meaning way, but it's not my first instinct. I also see exactly how it would make you feel bad. Without being there I can't give a definitive answer, but it sounds like it sucked. Sorry you dealt with that. Now you are allowed to be embarrassed at that toast and to leave early to collect yourself. Your family had to deal with the trauma of years of jail, rehab and addiction, and they're allowed to be thankful that you're alive and sober and express that at the family Thanksgiving. I'm confused. Was there anyone at the dinner table that didn't know your history? Nah, stay strong, mate. A year clean is no mean feat. You're the arsehole, buttercup. Your sobriety for however long does not cancel out everything your loved ones had to deal with. At a minimum, you should have the grace to accept that it might come up in conversation, especially when it's a family member grateful that you're alive. That embarrassing feeling you have is part of the tapestry of emotions that'll keep you from using opioids again. Be thankful. You're the arsehole. That shit still happened. Maybe you were euphoric and amnesiatic through a lot of it, but your family had to suffer through it. You can't just decide you're done with the past and nobody should bring it up, ever. Live it down. I'm going with a soft you're the arsehole. You clearly felt uncomfortable, but your brother's toast was well meant. Addiction is an illness, but it's not just you who was affected. Your family suffered, too. This was a very ham-fisted and awkward occasion. But put it behind you and keep working on your sobriety. It's a difficult thing for you and you're doing great. I wish you nothing but the best. Now you have a right to be embarrassed and he has a right to be relieved. He and everyone at that table probably thought many times that you would die. You gave them months and maybe years of anxiety wondering when that phone call or knock on the door would come. So they have every right to be relieved. It means they love you. But your embarrassment was too much for you right then, so you left, as was your right. What he does not have is the right to make you feel guilty about your strong feelings. I'm with Op. The brother can absolutely be grateful that he is alive and can express this without saying it in veiled language, but standing up in front of Aunt Jeanette and her friend? Come on. It's like he is making a spectacle of the lowest time in Op's life, and no addict wants that to be announced in mixed company. Oh, yeah? Op, you are not the asshole. Giving thanks to your sobriety with an alcoholic toast is certainly something. He was heartfelt, but tactless. He became the asshole when he got mad at you for expressing that it upset you. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your tipsy brother toasted your sobriety. The irony would be hilarious if it wasn't so heartbreaking. Nah, he should have talked to you before bringing it up in the wider company, but I believe he was doing it from a place of love and trying to mark the joy and relief the family feels for your ongoing recovery. I hope you can reconcile, and I hope he can understand why you felt embarrassed and less welcome than you were entitled to be. Nah. If everyone knows your situation and he was being sincere, he wasn't saying it to hurt you. He may be genuinely grateful, and those are things you talk about at Thanksgiving. However, you are also allowed to be uncomfortable or have strong feelings around discussing it. I think you should be honest with your brother, while also expressing your own gratitude for any support he may have given you. You've been through a lot, and it affects you most, but it affects your family, too. Am I the only one who thinks toasting to sobriety from alcohol and drunk is rude AF? If the brother hadn't been drunk, I would have probably ruled different, but not the asshole for this one. Congratulations on getting sober. Oof, this is a tough one. I'm leaning towards not the asshole, not because of your brother's initial toast, although it was overstepping and inconsiderate. The sincerity salvages it a little, but for calling you a dick and refusing to apologize after you communicated your boundaries. Regardless of his initial intentions with the speech, you're well within your rights to ask that information to be kept private, and he's being an asshole by not accepting that. Nah. You've been sober from opioids for a year, and that is not an easy thing to do. Congratulations, man. I really think that your brother is proud of you, and rightly so. Opioid addiction is a fucking beast. I get that it can be embarrassing for someone to point out something that may feel shameful. It's okay to be embarrassed, but I think you should reach out to your brother and talk it out. Your family is proud of you, and you did a good job. No, you're not the asshole. And you're not the one that should be embarrassed. He's the one that got up there, slightly tipsy, and said how nice it was to have you sober. WTF? You're the asshole. Sounds like he was telling you how much you mean to him. So thankful that I'm still alive and sober, and he was acknowledging how hard your struggle with addiction has been for you and your loved ones, watching you go through it with the despite everything that's happened part. Your guilt and shame is clouding your acceptance of how people around you value you. Understandable, but maybe talk to your therapist about this. I have a brother who used to be a drug addict and recently stopped with alcoholism. Maybe he's saying it as sincere. I probably would have done the same, since that is one of being grateful, is to have my brother back. Not the asshole. I am sure hopeful he is thankful that you are alive and doing well. Massive congrats, by the way, Orange Heart, but bringing it up like that in front of everyone, when he was tipsy no less, was tactless of him. I can completely understand your embarrassment. Sounds like you need to have a good chat with him about the appropriate ways, times and place and people to be bringing it up around it, etc. Will owes you a proper apology, with no buts, conditions, or modifiers. There are some things you keep shut about, especially during family holidays, especially if it's not your things yourself you're talking about. Not the asshole. Not the asshole you left. From what you wrote, you didn't make a scene about it. Screw all the SH and YTA. Wish you the best of luck on your journey.